truth, well, that's how you found us. 144,000. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. One body, one faith, one Lord. Feel like I can take over the world with one sword. 144,000 men on one accord. Not being in this army is something we can't afford. Real niggas across the board, ain't no suckers round us. You was looking for the truth, well, that's how you found us. Now it's time to lace your boots up. We got the order from the king, round the troops up. Let's go to war and die defending this nation if we gotta. Ain't no stopping us now. The chosen people of the power, standing strong like a man. Cause in our camp it ain't no cowards. 144 grand, nigga, it's step before dishonor. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. I'm sick and tired of watching niggas get smoked. Work 80 hours a week and then a nigga still broke. Don't let that same nigga try to sell dope. They give him 100 years and then that nigga can't cope. Murder she wrote, they got their foot on our neck. We don't own no damn land, but yet we reppin' our set. Are you prepared for what's next? Babylon is falling. Esau has to fall so Jacob can get the ball in. Many are called and all, I'm standing tall. I just did a roll call and all my dogs, we all in. 7,000 men who haven't bowed to idols. Remember that we them people they talked about in the Bible. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Hearing lies on the news and lies from the reverend. I might not be a nigga by the time I get to heaven, man. It's time for the truth. I'm tired of oppression. They won't call me a nigga by the time I get to heaven. Hearing lies on the news and lies from the reverend. I might not be a nigga by the time I get to heaven, man. It's time for the truth. I'm tired of oppression. They won't call me a nigga by the time I get to heaven. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power.
Most High in Christ. Hey, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to all my brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathan Bahasham Yahweh Shai to all my sisters with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana, established since 1969, teaching the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans the truth according to the Bible, letting our people know that we are the chosen people of God, letting our people know that our rulership, when Christ returns, is inevitable. You know what I mean? The way that we live right now under the oppressor, you know what I mean, which the devil the Bible speaks of, Esau, you know what I mean, his reign, his rule will come to an end when Christ returns. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we teach in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any other group on the face of the earth. And with that, I'm priest and officer of 1,000, Ayaza'ab, coming out of Greenville, North Carolina. Tonight is the history class, and sometimes I switch it up. But what we're going to go in tonight is the origins of Esau, the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, in inverted commas, you know what I'm saying, just to let our brothers and sisters know that, you know what I mean. Now, the Lord's Passover is coming up, you know what I mean, the Lord's 51st annual Passover, you know what I mean, hosted by Commanding General Yohana, the Voice of God, Westchester County, 198 Central Avenue, White Plains, New York, 10606. You know what I'm saying? And the date is April the 9th, 2020. You know what I mean? That's the date, and that's the place, that's the location. It all happens at sundown. You know what I'm saying? It all happens at sundown. The Lord's 51st annual Passover. You know what I mean? And I know you saw the image at the beginning of the show, at Salaki, at the beginning of the class. You know what I'm saying? It says, come home. You know what I mean? It says, come home. You know, I'm going to pop it on the screen right now. Come home, brothers and sisters. Come home to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I mean? Come home. You know what I mean? Come home to the true leader of the nation of Israel, who is Commanding General Yohana. You know what I mean? This is where the Most High has set up for blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, with true rulers who follow Christ and the Most High. You know, where we exhibit perfect brotherhood, love, and compassion for our people. You know? So, with that said, tonight's class, we're going to go in again, the origins of Esau. We're gonna start slow, but as with a couple of the other classes, I'm going to make it a 2 or 3 part class because there's a lot of stuff to cover. I'm going to go into the basics tonight, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into finer details as to what Esau did, you know what I'm saying, to the children of Israel, and how we got to this point that we are at right now, even if we sinned against the Most High. But we're going to take it slow so that after these classes, you will understand who the oppressor is. You'll understand the difference between Satan and the devil and Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? You'll understand all these things, and you will know the origin of this person or this nation of people called the Edomites or Edom, or the progenitor whose name was Esau. You know what I mean? We're going to take our time and go through it. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to Genesis chapter, let me see here, chapter 4 and verse 1. I want to go to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1. All right. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1. And Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1, let me put it up on the screen so you can see. And it reads, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, meaning Adam had sex with his wife Eve, right? And she conceived and bare Cain, meaning after they had sex, you know what I mean, she was found with child, she was pregnant, you know what I mean, she conceived, she made a child, and, you know what I mean, his name is Cain. And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord, right? This is what he's saying. Verse 2, and she said, Selachia, and she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground, right? So now right there it's giving you the description or characteristics of the two people that were born of Adam and Eve. And why am I bringing this up? You'll see in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about Esau, but why are you talking about Cain and Abel? Just wait. Just wait. Have some patience. This is why we are scholars of the biblical text. You know what I'm saying? Of the scriptures taught to us by Commanding General Yohana. You know what I mean? We're not Christians. We dissect the scriptures and we get proper breakdowns as to what is in there. You know what I mean? All right. This is now verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. So, you know, we our traditions and how it was set up for us to do before Christ came, we would have to, you know what I mean, give sacrifices or make sacrifices to the Most High, the best of what we have. You know what I'm saying? Like today, if, for example, I was a shepherd, I would bring the best of my flock. You know what I'm saying? Or best of my cattle, whether it be a bull or a cow. Best, fattest one. The one that would make me the most money, I would have to sacrifice that unto the Lord to prove that I love the Lord more than what he gave me to make money. Does that make sense? This is why Christians can never, ever, ever be righteous men and women. You know what I mean? Unless they change, repent, and come into the school of UPK. So I'm going to keep reading. I'm not really going to be going over and over scriptures, but for purposes of some of my brothers and sisters who just want to get the full context, I'll read it from the top. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Verse 3. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Let's go to verse 5. Verse 4, Salakia. Verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and the fat thereof. You see? So, what happened was Cain brought whatever it is he had from the ground, right? But Abel brought the firstlings, the fat ones, the big juicy ones, the ones that would make money for him if he would slaughter the bull, or he would slaughter the cow, or slaughter the goat, or the sheep. The big ones that would make more money for him, that was more profitable to hold to himself. He gave it as an offering unto the Lord, the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, right? So the Lord had respect unto Abel, you know what I mean, and to his offering. The Lord respected the offering that Abel gave, you know, because he wasn't selfish and greedy and wanted to keep the best things for himself. Now, the reason why I'm saying that on purpose, so that you can catch, right, the spirit behind these two brothers. One brother didn't really care what he brought, but one brother specifically chose the best of what he had to give unto the Most High. That's two different spirits right there. All right? Let's keep reading. Verse 5. Where we at? Yeah. Verse 5. But unto Cain, unto his offering, he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Now, let's examine that real quick. The Most High was pleased with Abel's gift, or offering, I should say. I don't want to say gift. Offering, right? But he was not pleased with Cain's offering. He didn't respect what Cain brought, but he respected what Abel brought, right? All right. Let's keep going. So as a matter of fact, even in, the whole idea that Cain knew that he didn't bring the right offering, when the Lord didn't respect his offering, it says here that he was wroth, meaning he was angry. And his countenance fell, meaning he had he was looking angry, he was vexed. You know what I'm saying? He was furious, mad. And when somebody looks angry, their countenance is not a joyful and pleasing one, or the look, expression on your face is not welcoming. And the Lord saw that. Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? So the Most High is questioning him and asking him, like, what's going on? What's up with you? You know what I mean? Like, you angry? Why are you angry? What's going on? You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going. And why is thy countenance fallen? All right, let's keep going. Verse 7. If thou doest well, now this is the Most High speaking to Cain and talking to him and telling him and checking him based on what happened. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? He's asking him this question. So if you brought me the best of what you had, wouldn't I accept it? Wouldn't I be pleased? Wouldn't I respect what you did like your brother? Let's keep going. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. What does that mean? Because you didn't do the right thing or follow instructions and do as you were supposed to do, that means what? You will sin automatically. Now, this is a cut for Christians who think that the law wasn't in the beginning. It's only Moses who gave the 10 Commandments. If there is sin where Cain is doing what he's doing, then there were laws to govern how you behave yourself and what to do and what not to do. Right? Sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shall rule over him. Now, sin will rule over you. This is what the Lord is saying, when you choose to do what you want. You know what I mean? And this is the check-in that the Lord is giving to Cain. Like, you didn't do what you want. You brought me whatever you want, and you know you're supposed to bring the best of what you have as an offering. But you didn't. So now you sin. You disobeyed. You're doing what you want. And you even, on top of all of that, you angry. You wrath. And you have a screwed up face. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Right. So you see where the sin coming in? After being checked, and after he knew that he didn't do the right thing, he took it upon himself to go murder his brother, which is sin upon sin. You're compounding sin with sin. You know what I'm saying? So let's take a look at this first. The spirit of Cain was one such that he disobeyed God. He didn't obey the rules that God set, right? Boom. Second of all, he was angry at God and took it out on his brother Abel by killing or murdering his brother, right? That's sin number 2, right? So in essence, we can say that the spirit of Cain is a rebellious spirit against the Lord, right? We can safely say that. I'm using those terms on purpose so that you can understand as we go deeper into the class where all this ties in with Esau. All right. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, this is Cain responding, I know not. Now that's the third lie. 3. Strike 3 for Cain. Right? Strike 3. Disobedience, murder, lying. All right. Let's keep going. Am I my brother's keeper? This is what Cain is asking the Lord. Like, am I responsible for Abel? I don't know where the nigga is. You is God. You should find him because you know everything. I don't know where that nigga is. I'm not responsible for him. He's a grown man, and so am I. Okay. Let's see. Verse 10, Genesis chapter 4 and verse 10. And he said, What hast thou done? This is the Most High speaking to Cain. What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. Meaning the Lord already knew that he killed his brother, murdered his brother. You know what I'm saying? And the blood of Cain, of Abel, Salakia, is crying unto the Most High. You know what I mean? From the ground, because he was killed unlawfully by his brother Abel over being jealous. You know what I'm saying? Which is another sin. You shouldn't envy what your brother have. You know what I mean? So we can see clearly the spirit of Cain is one such that, you know, he is full of lust. He's full of, you know what I mean? He's all about himself. You know? He don't care about rules. He don't care about laws. He don't care about nothing more than what he can achieve or accomplish or get or gain from whatever it is that is right there in front of him. You know what I mean? He's like a dog. You know what I mean? He will gobble up everything and he will still want more. And he will not take responsibility for what he has done. This is the spirit of Cain. This is Cain we're talking about. All right. Verse 11. And now thou, Silaki, and now art thou cursed from the earth. You know what I mean? This is what the Lord is telling Cain right now. He's cursing Cain, which have opened her mouth and received thy brother's blood from thy hand. You know what I mean? Let's keep going. Verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, Salakia, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. This was the curse that was put on Cain. So if we're taking notes, let's take notes and recap real quick and see what the spirit of Cain is and what his punishment was, you know what I'm saying, for what he had done. So Cain doesn't keep laws. He's rebellious against the Lord, right? He's a liar. He's a murderer. You know what I'm saying? And we have an old saying in the Caribbean, a great liar is a great thief. A great thief is a murderer and a liar. You know what I'm saying? They all go hand in hand, because if you kill, you will lie about killing. You know what I'm saying? If you steal, you will lie about stealing. If you steal, then that means you are able to do any one of the sins interchangeably so you can cover up whatever it is you've done. Right? And that is the spirit on Cain. Now, as for his punishment, he would become a vagabond, you know what I'm saying, in the earth, a fugitive and a vagabond. Now, on your own time, you could go ahead and look up the meaning of the definition of these two words, fugitive and vagabond, right? All right, let's keep going. Verse 13, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. You see me crying? He crying. He's done wickedly, and the punishment that was bestowed upon him by the Most High, he wants to wiggle his way out of it, because he feels like, even if I'm wrong and I'm wicked and I did these things, I don't deserve that type of punishment. So in essence, Cain is trying to be acquitted from whatever evil that he did, or whatever wrong that he did against the Most High. Right? And that's his spirit. Okay. Let's keep going. Genesis 4:14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. Meaning the Most High is not going to be with him. He was cut off. You know what I'm saying? Cain was cut off, and the spirit that he carried was cut off from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. This is what he was afraid of. He was afraid of dying, even if he had just taken his brother's life. Yeah? Let's keep going. We're going to come back over this entire thing, but we're going to come back to it in reference to talking about the oppressor himself. You know what I mean? I'm just building up to that point. All right, so let's go. Verse 15, and the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And what is that mark? That is that pale skin, deprived of melanin. Yeah? So the Most High cursed Cain and punished him, made him a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth because of the spirit that he carried. But now Cain was afraid that someone would kill him because of what he had done, and karma would catch up with him. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord said this. Listen to the verse again. Verse 15, and the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon Slakia on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So anybody who saw Cain, you know what I mean, with that pale skin, would beware of him. They wouldn't want to have nothing to do with him, because they would already know that the Lord had punished him for the evil that he had done. You understand? All right. So I hope we understand the spirit of Cain. Now, why am I bringing up the whole spirit of Cain in this class? And I'll tell you why. It's because the oppressor himself embodies that exact same spirit. You know what I'm saying? This is why the scripture says, you was a murderer from the beginning. The lust of your father you will do. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing back to front, well, however, but you get the point. You know what I mean? And the beginning is this man right here, who is Cain, who has the spirit of lying, murder, deception, disobedience, rebellion, greed, envy, jealousy, all of that. You know what I'm saying? That man had all that within him. That's the spirits that he was carrying, and the Lord dealt with him accordingly. Right? Okay. Now, I want to go to Genesis chapter 20, the verse, the 23rd verse. Let's go down there to the 23rd verse real quick. This is the 23rd verse. Here we go. All right. So And the reason why I'm reading this is to show you something very significant, that as long as you are a descendant of, or let me say it this way, as long as you are in the spirit of Cain, and you know that you are a descendant of, let's say, Esau, who embodies the spirit of Cain, same exact thing, you know what I'm saying? This is how you're gonna behave. Just like Cain's son, as we're gonna read right now. This is how you're gonna behave, and you will know these things, and because of your knowledge of these things, you're gonna, you know what I mean, go out there and do a lot of evil, and know that if anybody put their hands on you, judgment is gonna come upon them sevenfold. You know what I'm saying? Let's read. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 23. I'm still like Genesis chapter 4 and verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives, now this is a son of Cain, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my own wounding, and a young man to my heart, to my hurt, Salakia. He is telling his ribs that he killed somebody. He killed a young man. You know what I'm saying? He murdered somebody. And he's telling them that. Now let's keep reading and see what he says as a result of him knowing that he did something wrong. And also knowing what the Lord had said about his father, if anyone harms Cain, you know what I mean, or his descendants or anyone that comes from him, what would happen? He said this, Genesis 4 and 24. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly, Lamech 70 and sevenfold, right? Now, he's saying that if anybody kill him, yes, I did go and kill this. I murdered this boy, this young man. But, you know what I mean? As it was said about my father, if anybody touch us, you know what I mean, judgment, the Lord is going to put them to death, or whatever is going to come up against them, and they're going to die. You know what I'm saying? Sevenfold 70. Or 70-fold 7. 70 and sevenfold, as he put it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you're not going to get away. Because the Lord said, don't touch us. You know what I mean? He will reserve us for judgment. You know what I mean? In due time. So I wanted to touch on that just so we understand what spirit, you know what I mean, Cain had. Right? Now, as a result of understanding the spirit of Cain, if we just scoot over to Genesis, the fifth chapter, you know what I'm saying? Let me grab it real quick. Genesis, the fifth chapter. Genesis, the fifth chapter. All right, here we go. Yeah. Now, I'll just put it on the screen real quick. This is the book, Genesis chapter 5 and verse 1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man in the likeness of God, made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called them their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness. You hear that? In his own likeness. Keep that in mind. After his image, and called him his name Seth. Now, if I'm not going to read all through it, but if you read on and keep going down and down and down and down and down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. I'm just going through it just so you can see. You know what I mean? Did you see Cain name anywhere in there as a son of Adam? Was he included in the generations of Adam? He was not. And there may be a particular reason why. Why is that? Because he was cut off. You know what I'm saying? He was cut off for what he had done to his brother Abel. So the Lord started fresh with Seth. You know what I mean? And it might sound crazy, but it is what it is. Just like, you know what I mean? What's his name? Esau got cut off as well. You know what I mean? And I will read to you a little later on that he was the only man or nation of people who was never promised anything from the Most High. Like they don't even exist to the Most High. All they exist for is for judgment when the Lord is ready for them. You know what I mean? All right. So let's go to Genesis 25 and 20. Let's jump over to Genesis chapter 25 and verse 20. You know what I mean? We're going to Genesis 25 and 20. Just bear with me. Let me get that real quick. And Salaka, if I'm not paying attention to the social media and asking questions and so on and so forth, you all could go ahead and, you know what I mean, just follow the class. I won't be taking questions per se during this class because we got a lot of stuff to cover and I want to just go over it. You know what I mean? So that we can get a clear breakdown and understanding as to who and where this man came from, what spirit he carries, what to look out for, what not to look out for. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. All right, so this is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 20. Now, in the incarnation or regeneration, Cain came back as Esau. Right? Cain came back as Esau. Remember, Cain, there was a mark put on Cain. Right? There was a mark put on Cain so that everybody who saw him knew that he was a murderer, a liar, a vagabond, and a fugitive. You know what I'm saying? And that no one should mess with him. Let him, don't do nothing with him. Don't deal with him, period. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord said. So, as a result, obviously, he died over time. But then in the regeneration, which is reincarnation, he came back as Esau. And let's see. Let's find out the characteristics of Esau versus Cain. And fast forward to today, the oppressor. Let's see if all of them correlate. All right, let's go. So this is the book of Genesis chapter 25 and verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. Isaac, you know what I'm saying? Abraham, Isaac, his son, you know what I mean? The daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram. Salakia. I hate pronouncing these words, man, if you all don't know. The sister of Laban, the Syrian. All right. Verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord, meaning he went to the Lord and prayed and asked the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So Abraham went to the Lord and asked the Lord to, you know what I mean, bless his wife's womb so that she can bear children. And the Lord saw it fit that it happened, and she gave birth. She was actually conceived with kids, right? She was conceived, right? Let's keep going. Now, after she's conceived, meaning that she's with child and stuff like that, let's read how many children she was going to give birth to and what was going on with those children while she was pregnant with those children. All right? So it says here in verse 22, and the children, this is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 22, and the children struggled within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Now, let's slow down a little bit. She has 2 children inside of her. Now we know that because it says the children struggled within her. And as we read lower down, we'll find out that she was carrying twins. So she went to entreat of the Lord to find out what was going on, because she has a lot of pain. It's like the kids inside of her fighting with each other inside of the womb, and making her uncomfortable and all of that stuff. Right? Okay. And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Now, let me back up a little bit. When it said that she went to entreat the Lord, she didn't go like a Christian and pray and say, oh Lord, what's going on with me? And then God spoke to her in her mind or whatnot. In those days, you would go to the men of the Lord, and the men of the Lord would give you proper counsel based on what the Lord wants or requires or is telling you, them to tell you. You know what I'm saying? As a woman, that is. You know what I'm saying? It happens for men as well. You don't think that she went like a Christian and pray by herself and whatever. That's not what it happened. Her husband did that. She went to her husband did what he had to do. The Lord spoke to him and he gave her the message. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And the Lord, so like in verse 23, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Now 2 nations are in thy womb. What does that mean? That means that 2 nations, these 2 children gonna become nations. They're gonna have nations after them. You understand what I'm saying? They're not just regular people who's gonna come on the earth and die away. They're gonna have nations. People are gonna be called after their names. You understand what I'm saying? In thy womb. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. I'm going to read that again. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Meaning, these 2 nations, these 2 children in your womb, inside of you, struggling right now, giving you pains, and your contractions are like, a volcano exploding inside of you, is because there are 2 different manner of people. You know what I'm saying? There are 2 different manner of people. Their mannerisms are different as people. Right? The way one of this child would behave, this child would never behave that way. And vice versa. You understand? 2 manner of people shall be separated, not brought together in kumbaya and love and hugs and kisses, but separated from thy bowels. You understand? All right. Meaning when she make the children are not gonna get along. They're not gonna be tawab to each other or with each other. And let's go. And one people shall be stronger than the other people. And one of the children is going to be stronger and mightier and more powerful than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger. Right? So now this is very important that we understand this particular verse. The fact that we already know that Esau is going to be the reincarnation of Cain. Now, who is the other person that's going to come out of Rebecca's womb? Let's keep reading. And before I go further, you know what I'm saying? This is very important that we understand the two manner of people and the part that says shall be separated. You understand? From thy bowels. Meaning, yes, they're going to come from the same womb, but they are not going to be together. They're not going to be on the same accord. They're not going to like the same things. They're not going to do the same things. They're not going to be similar. They're going to be different totally from each other. All right. Let's keep going. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Right. So there were twins, meaning two children inside of her. All right. We're going slow. This is not for brothers and sisters who've been in here forever and knows these breakdowns and, you know what I mean, clicking on the class and spending 2 seconds and bouncing. Sometimes you even need to stay in the class because we get so absorbed in this slave system doing all kinds of stuff and focusing on camp, yes, focusing on our classes, but the simple scriptures, the scriptures that makes a difference, the building blocks of the nation of Israel when it comes for us coming back to our heritage or our culture, you know what I'm saying? And the understanding of everything that is gone, that has progressed, or I should say transpired in our lives from back in the biblical times to now is very important. All of it. All right. We can't forget the foundation, you know what I'm saying? And I teach the foundation sometimes because I know there are a lot of people who just coming into the truth, and some people, you know what I mean, they need this. They need to know who the oppressor really is and who Esau is and why we say is the devil the Bible speaks of and all these things. We have to be able to break it down and slow it down so our brothers and sisters can absorb it. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is milk. You can't eat steak. A 3-month-old baby can't eat steak, but you can drink milk from your mother's breast. Right? The Bible is the breast. You know what I mean? And you getting it right now, drink the milk. This is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25. And the first came out red. Now, and the first son or the first child came out red. Right? All over like an hairy garment. And they call his and they called his name Esau. You read that again. The two children that was struggling within Rebecca's womb, who were going to be separated, who were going to be two manner of people or two different types of people, two different people, two different types of people, right? The first one came out red. Now keep that in your mind. Red. All over like an hairy garment. In addition to the first child coming out red, He was hairy all over like a garment. Like all over him had hair from birth. All right. They call his name Esau. So his name is Esau. E-S-A-U. Keep that in mind. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. You hear that? Now what do you find kind of weird about the two births? Outside the fact that the second born took hold of the firstborn's heel. What else? Let me read that again. This is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25. And the first came out red. We know that he's a red individual. All over like a hairy garment. He was also very hairy. It was all over him like a garment. And they call his name Esau. So we know the first child is Esau. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out. After that came his brother out. After Esau. Right? And his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. Right? Now, we'll keep reading in a while. What do you find weird? Don't you find it's kind of odd that the entire description of Esau was given, but none was given for Jacob? It just said that his brother came out after him. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is that Jacob was dark skinned like everybody else. Yeah? But Esau came out red. He was pale. He had no melanin in his skin. Just like, guess who? Read my mind. That's right. That's right. Cain. Just like Cain. You know what I'm saying? So right there, we can see the reincarnation or the regeneration of Cain in Esau. Right? All right. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we got going on here. I love the Bible, man. All right. So the first came out red, hairy garment, you know what I'm saying? Esau. Then Jacob came out, grabbed Esau's heel. You know what I'm saying? And Isaac was 80 years old. 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. 80, meaning 60. It was 60. 80. Score is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. He was 60 years old when she bear them. All right? He was 60 years old when these children were born. All right, cool. No sweat. Now, let's take a closer look at the children now. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the characteristics of each child in simple terms. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a look at the characteristics of each child. Right? Esau and Jacob. Let's take a look at the characteristics. And it reads right here in verse 28. Genesis 25 and 28. And it reads, Salakia, 27. It's highlighted. I didn't want this to be highlighted. This is what I want highlighted. All right. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, right? So we know his boys are not girls. And the boys grew. That's why the Bible is so specific when it emphasizes different things at different times. But then when you read the context and you understand the context of how it is written, then you know what it's talking about. I could have said the two children could have been women, you know what I mean? But then I would be a liar because the Bible says, and the boys grew. Yeah? And Esau was a cunning hunter. Let that soak in for a second. And Esau was a cunning hunter. Remember, Cain was a man of the field. You know what I'm saying? He used to be in the field all the time doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? He tilled the ground and, you know what I mean? Didn't say he hunted, but he had that spirit. Since he knew how to kill his brother. You know what I mean? Anyway, Cain, not Cain, Salakia, Esau was a cunning hunter. Give me, when we say that Esau is the so-called oppressor today, give me the characteristics, one of the characteristics that you see in this scripture that represents that of the oppressor. That's right. Esau was a cunning hunter. And the reason why he was a cunning hunter is because he loved blood. He loved to kill. You understand? That's why he was a cunning hunter. He loved to kill. And if we take a look today, who has that type of characteristics? Who has those attributes? And love to kill for fun. Go kill grizzly bears for no reason and take pictures with them. Kill lions and zebras and, you know what I'm saying, whales and dolphins and, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of animals, tigers, you know what I mean? Who goes out into the wild and hunts and kills for fun? Who stays in the forest for days at a time, covered, lying still on the ground, peeing in containers, just so that they can kill a grizzly bear to take a picture with it? Who does that? Kaboom. The oppressor, who is the Caucasian, the Caucasoids, right? If I may, the white man. He's the only one who embodies that type of personality and characteristic. You understand? He's the only one who does that. You don't see Japanese going out doing that what the white man does. You don't see East Indian going out and killing animals for absolutely no reason. If they go kill, they go eat it. You know what I'm saying? Even fish. They would get big fish, take pictures and throw it back in the thing, you know what I'm saying? Or kill it and do whatever away with it and not eat it. Who does that? Only the oppressor. Only Esau. Only the white man. Yeah? All right. So now we have established that. Let's go to the next brother. Let's see what kind of characteristic he had. He has. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. When we say we are the descendants of Jacob, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, we are not lying and we're not making it up, because the characteristics of Jacob inherited by his descendants, you know what I'm saying, or his seed after him, is clear. It's evident. You cannot change it. Because I like to chill inside. I know most of my Judite brothers and sisters, they like to chill inside and relax. They don't want to be out there. They don't want to be outside. They love chilling, relaxing, feet up, playing video games, you know what I'm saying? Eating popcorn, Netflix and chill. You know what I mean? They might get up late almost every other day to go to the slave, because they don't like going out there and doing all of that. They plain. They love to chill at home and relax. You know what I'm saying? And that is the characteristic of Jacob. Was a plain man dwelling in tents. All right? Boom. Let's keep going. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So one son was favored by the father and one son was favored by the mother. Right? Now, if we take our time and understand and remember what was said earlier on in the scriptures, what is about to happen should not be a surprise. All right? Let's keep going. Now, this is to allow our brothers and sisters to understand who Esau is. If I may do a breakdown on Jacob, I can, but you know what I mean? Esau is very important to understand who he is and what he has done and what his purpose is right now. All right. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. All right. So it's saying here, Genesis chapter 25 and verse 29, and Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, which he loves to go hunt and do all what he did. You know what I mean? And Jacob home chilling, cooking. You know what I mean? Kaboom. He was faint, meaning you were tired and he was hungry. You know what I'm saying? He burnt out because he out there hunting and in the field all day. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. You know what I'm saying? So Esau is asking his brother for food because he's hungry. He just came back from hunting because he's a man of the field. He loves to kill. He loves to go hunting and do all these things. He's a cunning hunter. You know what I mean? Jacob laid back in the crib chilling. I ain't got time to go out there and do all of that. If I have to go out and in the foul coop and grab a chicken and twist its neck and cook it, that's the most I'll do. There are goats in the yard. I'll just go chop one neck off, drain the blood, you know what I'm saying, clean it up and cook. I ain't going out there and try and kill nothing. That's Jacob. So Esau coming back from doing all of that, and he's telling Jacob he's hungry. You know what I'm saying? He need to eat. He's faint. You know what I'm saying? And let me read it again, verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, whatever that he was cooking. You know what I'm saying? For I am faint, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm burnt out. Therefore was his name called Edom. Edom. Now let's pause there for a second. So Esau name was called Edom. I am faint. I'm wasted away. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to this book right here. Where is it? This side? This side? This side? See? This is the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. So we're going to check out Edom. You see that right there? Edom. All right? Edom or Edomite. Right? Now I'm going to read it. It says, Edom, Edomite, red. So Edom means red. Right? Edomite means red. All right? The nation and its people who were descendants of Esau. So when you hear us talking about Edomites, just know that we are talking about this particular verse right here, because his name was not Esau, but Edom. He was called Edom. You know what I'm saying? All right. His name is Esau, but he was called Edom. Right? All right. Again, the nation and its people who were the descendants of Esau. He founded the country, and so his name is equated with Edom. Right? The country was also called Seir, or Mount Seir. That's where he ended up living, right? Which was the name of the territory in which the Edomites lived, right? Let me go to the next page. The mountain of Plateau, the Dead Sea, and it's giving you a description, you know what I'm saying, of where they lived. It also mentions that the people who origin to Mount Seir were killed off by Esau, you know what I'm saying, and what were called cave dwellers, you know what I mean, cave dwellers, you know. Let's see here, in the Maccabean time, John Hyrcanus subdued the Idumeans, or the Edomites, the Idumeans, and forced them to accept Judaism. All right? So they were forced to accept Judaism. I'm just giving you a quick history on Edom real quick, and then we'll get back to it. She is the only daughter. Now, this is the part that I want you to take very seriously, because, you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I'm going to hold on to this for a second. Let's keep reading over this. So Edom is Esau. You know what I'm saying? Edomites come from Esau, right? Who is the oppressor, and we call the white man today, right? All right. Called Edom. All right. So Genesis chapter 25 and verse 31. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." So remember, in Israel, the firstborn always gets the inheritance, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth, right? So Jacob is telling Esau, sell me your birthright, and I'll feed you. It's a good deal. You're hungry. You know what I mean? And I'm the second born. But don't forget, it was prophesied that the elder, it was told to Isaac and Rebekah that the elder shall serve the younger. Right? The elder shall serve the younger. That is what the Most High had set up. Now, the way it went about getting done is what we're reading right now. All right? All right, verse, where we at? Bear with me. Come a little to this side here. A little closer. All right. And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point of Silaki. I'm at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?" Right? So he's saying, I don't care about no birthright, brother. I'm about to die. I'm hungry. Now, let's slow down a little bit. I hope that didn't fly over your head. Just by this, can we see some resemblance in Cain and Esau? Let's make the connection real quick. Where's your brother, Abel? I'm paraphrasing. Am I my brother's keeper? I don't know where the nigga at. Sell me your birthright. Verse 32 says, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit? You hear that? What profit shall this birthright do to me? Meaning, I don't care about no birthright. Birthright is just like a name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hungry now. I want to fulfill the desire that I have for hunger right now. So feed me and you can have the birthright. Selfishness. All about himself. All about what he can accomplish right now. For himself. Not caring about anything else. Very, very, very lustful spirit. Right? Same thing Cain had. Same thing is being exhibited right there with Esau. All right. I hope you're paying attention. Let's keep going. Verse, where we at? All right. Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. All right, let me put it on the screen for you to see. Swear to me this day, right? And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. He sold his birthright to Jacob because he was hungry. And you know what kills me? When I hear unlearned individuals saying that, oh, Jacob tricked him and stuff like that. Jacob didn't trick anybody. It's clear in the Bible that Jacob asked him, well, you know what I mean, if you want me to feed you, you know what I mean, let's make a deal. You know what I mean, we brothers, you know what I mean, let me get your birthright and I'll feed you. The other brother wasn't forced to do it with a sword or a knife to his neck. Esau said, that shit don't have nothing to do. I don't care about that shit. That is not going to save my life now because I'm hungry. You can have it. Just feed me. That's fair deal if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau, read that properly, thus Esau, Edom, despised his birthright. Right? He didn't care about it. He didn't care about it. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He hated it. You know what I'm saying? So this is why at the end of everything, when we say that the oppressor has been cut off, I will give you the scriptures in the next class. I wanted to basically summarize all of this in a nutshell so you understand the spirit that Cain had is the same spirit that Esau has, right? And we're going to expound in the next class how he utilizes that spirit to do evil on the earth. And then we're going to go into details of the different things that he did to us and other nations and where we at right now. So with that, you know what I'm saying, to water brothers and sisters, I wanted to make it a short class because it's a lot of information. I don't want to be too long with it. And brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, just don't bother to even sit in the class. You know what I mean? It's very simple, but it's detailed. So in our next class, we're going to go over a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Even the part where, you know what I'm saying, in Malachi, where the Most High himself said that, you know, he hate Esau. And his Jacob is who he loved. And Paul reiterated that same scripture in the book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 13. Jacob I love and Esau I hated. You know what I'm saying? And this is why what I'm about to read right now will clarify that God doesn't love everybody. And that the nation of Edom or the Edomites have been cut off from the Most High. And there's no mercy for them for the evil that they have done on the earth. Because they carry the same spirit of Cain, which is to murder, to lie, you know what I'm saying? To be dishonest, disloyal, or everything. To be envious, you know what I'm saying? Hateful, all of that. And this again is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. If you all can see it. This is page 234. And this is Edom again. No, Edomite. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given promise of mercy from God. Down here. I don't know if you all can see it. Let me put it this way. See that? So that's it. Never let anybody fool you thinking that, you know what I mean, the white man or the oppressor and us are the same. We are two different manner of people. You understand what I'm saying? Separated from the womb of Rebecca. And we are the descendants of Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And we can't love everybody. We got to love our own. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it's very, 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 very important that we come to the classes and learn. You know what I'm saying? And with that, you know what I'm saying, I'm prison officer of 1,000 Asa Ab, coming out of Greenville, North Carolina, on the Captain Nayatak, officer 5,000 Yahawada, by extension, Commanding General Yahana. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahana, established since 1969, teaching the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans the truth according to the Bible. We are here to enlighten, you know what I'm saying, to educate, to free the minds of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know what I mean? Letting our people know that we are the chosen people of God. Letting our people know that for too many years we have been targeted and sought out as evil or wicked and put this stigma and stereotype on us, when in actuality the oppressor, the one with the blue eyes, the Caesar Borgia image that walking around us all the time, is the devil the Bible speaks of, is the one who has destroyed, raped, robbed, murdered, and pillaged the entire earth. You know what I'm saying? On the backs of our people, our ancestors. They built their empires and all these things. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand the foundation of their origin. We have to understand what they stand for, where they came from, what they are about. You know what I mean? And once we understand that, then we know who we are, then the change will start to occur. You know what I mean? And with that, we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Again, I'm priest and officer of 1,000 Asa Ab, signing off. Shalom, Yabash Misharakatam to all my brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatan Bashim Yahweh Shai to all my sisters. Shalom.
so lost, yeah. So lost, we so lost, we so lost, so lost, we so lost, we so lost, we so lost, yeah. So lost, we 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 so lost. You see the problems that I'm going through, but you don't help me. Only thing you wanna do is hurt me. I see my partners going through the same shit, but even at their worst, they still hood rich. Nigga, who you think you lying to? Matter of fact, who you think you flying to? If you came back to the Lord, then maybe you'll see the bullshit we deal with. It ain't really us, cause all we see is struggle. All we know is hustle, that bullshit. And we came up from the mud, but one day we gon' be running shit. We struggle every day, we struggle every night, cause we ain't seeking answers to it. We so low, we so low, we so low. We so low, we so low, we so low. I know that we gon' wake up stronger by what's written. We suffer every day, cause we don't know it's written. The struggles that we live today, they may just be tomorrow. So I'll just live today, cause I don't know tomorrow. I'm waking up, I'm getting stronger and 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 making me hunger and hunger and hunger and hunger. I see my body building up, and my wounds started healing up. Is it enough for me to make it through tomorrow? I hope, nah, fuck that. I'm living by what I say and what I do. I am who I am, and I don't really give a damn if you feel me or not. I know that I'm hot, I'm ballin' and I'm shaking the pot. I'm building the block. If your ass out of line, I'm swinging this shit around the block. Day and night, we gon' be alright. I see you waking up, I see you shaking out that dust that's on your bones that came along with the struggle. No pot to piss in, so we hustle, but we alright. We so lost, we so lost, we so lost, we so lost, we so lost.